teams making their way out. Let's get a quick thought from the man with me here in a commentary position, who's been licking his lips in anticipation of this one, Roshan Rai. Can't wait for this one, Roshan.
An absolute privilege to be here to cover this game, and I'm really looking forward to this. A massive game. Both these sides know exactly what's at stake here. For Malaysia, it's simple, isn't it? They have to win. For Indonesia, they can take fewer risks. They can see how it goes. They can play on the counter-attack a little bit. And we saw against Vietnam, they know how to keep a clean sheet. They know how to be disciplined. They know how to be aggressive. They know how to fight this Indonesian side. And it's such an exciting young team with a big, bright future ahead of them. But this is a massive test. This is where they can take that next step in terms of their development, seeing out the result, getting the result that takes them through into the AFF Suzuki Cup semi-final. What an exciting 90 minutes plus of football we're going to have here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is in stark contrast to the match we had yesterday, where Singapore and Thailand were already through to the semi-final, so a little bit less in it. And there were selection issues as well for Thailand. And when we look at the team selection here today, both these teams certainly mean business.
The national anthem of Malaysia.
Bersatu dan maju, selamat bahagia kita, selamat bertambah. Bangsaku, rakyatku semuanya maju.
It may only be 20% full here at the stadium, but listen to that noise. These are some of the most fanatical supporters you will find in the region. And let's look at the starting lineup for Malaysia. They make 4 changes to the side that were convincingly beaten by Vietnam. The one to look out for, the number 2 there, Dion Cools, flew in from Europe just 4 days ago. He goes straight into the lineup. Junior Elstal is also restored to the starting lineup. Keunggulan Raj is also in as is Faisal Halim, who had that COVID-19 problem at the start of this campaign. It is a new centre-back pairing, remember, because Aidil Zafwan had a hamstring problem. He hobbled off in the game. So did Shaul Saad. He's on the bench. So Mahagiri has to be settled for a place on the bench, as does Lukman Hakim. And on the bench, well, they've got, this is the biggest bench we've seen actually for Malaysia so far in this tournament. Because of COVID-19 and players not being available at the time, they finally have a full complement. The referee today from Bahrain, as is his first assistant, Amar Ibrahim Hassan. And there are the two skippers. Badro Bakhtiar taking the armband today from Aidil. For Indonesia, they make just the one change to the side that had that valiant point against Vietnam, the goalless draw in that one. And in comes Ramai Rumakek, the youngster drafted in for this absolutely massive game. And clearly it would appear that Shin Tae-yong is fairly happy with what he's seen. He's gone for a pretty attacking formation here, a 4-4-2. And the man who misses out is Rizky Ramadani. But they are going with a 4-4-2 today. Irianto, who normally sits in front of the back four, is moving into the middle of the park today with Ricky Kambuaya. And yes, there you go, Rizky Ridho Ramadani, who was actually one of the most impressive players in that match against Vietnam. He has to settle for a place on the bench. There's also there on the bench Elkan Baggett, who was in quarantine, wasn't he, until yesterday for a COVID-19 incident on his plane, but he would be available later on in this competition. There is still no sign of Egi Maulana, who there were varying reports about whether he would be available for this one. Some mind games playing by Shin Tae-yong earlier in the picture. Tan Cheng Ho said, let's not get the media into our heads. Let's focus on the game instead. How do you see this one playing out, Roshan? Because Malaysia have to go for it from the off.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. This Malaysian side, they have to go for it, but at the same time, it's not going to be a situation where you want to take too many risks too early on and open yourselves up to opportunities to lose out on the counter-attack, and give Indonesia those opportunities in those counter-attacking situations, because there's plenty of pace in this side. You look at Irfan Jaya and Ramai Rumakek in those wider positions. They have got pace to burn. Witan Sulaiman is playing in just behind Ezra Walian in these phases out of possession. So it's almost like they set up in this 4-2-3-1 off the ball, and perhaps when they are in possession it'll be a 4-4-2 somewhat, with Witan Sulaiman given that license just to drop off in spaces in behind this Malaysian midfield. It's going to be so important for Badrol, who's shielding that defense, the number 8, the veteran in there, to make sure he's keeping track of the spaces that Witan Sulaiman is looking to go and try and push himself into, because he could be a player that causes lots and lots of issues for this Malaysian side if he's given space to turn in behind that Malaysian midfield.
How impressed were you with the discipline shown by Indonesia? As we come back to that in a minute, here's Ezra Walian. Because they changed things up, didn't they? And they largely kept Vietnam quiet.
Yeah, and that was really good to see. You know, I think they understood what they were up against. So there's a humility there. There was respect for what Vietnam are capable of. But you know, there wasn't any fear from Indonesia. They knew that, you know, we're not perhaps at that level yet. As the cross comes in, with the first shaky moment early on for Junior Elstal.
Yeah, he's just back in the lineup. Remember, he started the very first game against Cambodia, hobbled off, and has been restored to the starting lineup today as that comes flashing across the goal. And this man, Pratama, remember, he was injured in this first game. And he's replaced by Edo Febriansha, but he's come back in and has been excellent.
Yeah, wonderful driving run. The 19-year-old. They've got two young players on that left-hand side. Incredible talent coming through this Indonesian squad. It's close, isn't he?
Not far away at all. It's a great start to this game. Listen to that noise. Absolutely fantastic. And Russian, over the years, Malaysia, Indonesia always gets the pulses racing, doesn't it?
Wonderful rivalry these two sides have, and the stakes are high here, you know, just adds to the occasion. And what I love about Malaysian and Indonesian fans that have come out, and even the Vietnamese fans who have come out in support of their sides, as they've made themselves heard. You know, they've created a wonderful atmosphere. It's not like they just come in to sit down and watch a game of football. They've come in to participate and be a part of the football match. So it's been incredible, and I really salute the fans that have come out to support their sides.
Yeah, they're here to be part of the spectacle, aren't they? And that's the great thing. As they come forward here with Irfan, Indonesia out wide to Ezra Walian. They'll get a corner of Shami Safari.
I think just very quickly go back to the display that they put up against Vietnam. Very different, you know, it was more of a defensive side to Indonesia, and we're used to seeing them, as you see Ezra Walian breaking free down his right hand side. It's a cross coming off Shami Safari. We were used to seeing Indonesia in the first two matches in this competition be very aggressive, very attacking, very direct, look to try and get the ball forward quickly. But against Vietnam we saw a different side to them. Defensively aggressive, sitting deep, being compact and fighting all the way towards that point. Good flexibility that a young team has shown, and discipline in that game.
Yeah, I think that was something that really endeared them to a lot of fans. Doesn't kind of find me safe hands. He's been very good in those sort of situations. Well, I've said that. He completely fumbled it. And he's given away a corner here.
Yeah, what's happened there? I mean, I took my eye off the ball because I was looking upfield. Well, he catches it there and then just lets it slip.
Russian, just as well he was not in front of the goal.
That's right, fortunately for him. Well, nerves in this Malaysian defence. And the thing is, coming into this game, everyone was saying Malaysia the more experienced side and should have that experience, but doesn't seem to be the case very early on anyway.
Will they profit from this? Alfiandra Dewanga gets that well over. Now remember, of course, Indonesia are handicapped coming into this tournament. They're only allowed to pick 2 players from any one club in their league because it is ongoing at the moment. This is something that they experienced in 2016, by the way, which they went all the way to the final, despite that so-called handicap. But they have been pretty good value up till now. Here is Junel Stal, restored to the back line. Of course, he was playing defensive midfielder in the first game. Kogliswaran Raj, his first start in this tournament. Now Shafiq, out wide to Arif. Arif's done well here. Twisting in and out, Asnawi.
Yeah, he's the next big star of Malaysian football, isn't he? Arif Aiman, you can see the quality that he has and how dangerous he can be running at defenders. And twisted and turned. Asnawi inside out here. Wonderful footwork. Credit to Asnawi for recovering, getting the ball out for a corner at least.
He almost didn't make the squad, Russian. Arif Aiman. He was picked very late, wasn't he? Coach felt he had too much football in him. He was still a young man. Trying to get the shot away. It's a good response here from Malaysia. Now, Badru Bakhtiar's down, touching his nose, it looks like.
Now, what's interesting to me is we've had a couple of errors early on at being made by experienced players. Just see another look at this opportunity as Fakhruddin panics a little bit, just tries to make sure he gets it away out of play. Anywhere will do.
It was Ezra Walian, wasn't it, who fell on, or elbow perhaps even, on Badru Bakhtiar. He's just going off for some treatment.
And I don't think there was any intent in that.
And that was arrowing in, isn't it, to the near post. Look at the pace of Rumakek, look at that. He has stormed that run, and the pressure he was putting on Dion Cools, the new man in, of course, and Rizal Ghazali. Wonderful pace.
Yeah, excellent work by Ramai Rumakek. Wonderful acceleration there to put the pressure on Rizal.
Well, that's a poor ball from Karul Fahmi. Well, no foul given by the referee. The pace of this game, the intensity in these first 8 minutes, brilliant. Julian Elstar with an important couple of challenges there for Malaysia. You cannot take your eyes off this at the moment. Arif Aiman, who's got pace to burn. Devanga comes across after Devanga, who was superb, man of the match in that game against Vietnam.
This is absolutely living up to the pre-game hype. The tempo, the intensity is incredible. Challenges flying in. Nobody wanting to lose possession of the ball, even if they don't have it. Want to get it back straight away. We saw Junior Elstal come in with a couple of crunching challenges.
This is what the AFF Suzuki Cup's all about. It really is. Shadi Safari now. Kogliswaran Raj. Little triangles here. We can tell you there is already a goal in the other game. Vietnam have made it 1-0. Win Tien Lin. And this is how it looks. So, Indonesia, no. They need to get, well, actually, as it stands right now, they're through. But to be absolutely safe, of course, they know that Malaysians will come at them. And that is an early breakthrough for the Vietnamese. Remember, they've got a few goals tonight, just in case. There's the man who has just joined the side tonight, Faisal Halim, who was out with COVID, and Tan Cheng Ho, the Malaysian coach, had said having him will just add more bite in that midfield and attack. He's got Akia on the bench as well. Later on, should he need. Another one he was very happy to have back. 2 Indonesians are down. Ricky Kambuai has won. Kogniswaran is also down at the moment. And is there going to be a problem? Arianto, Rahmat Arianto is another one.
And a second ball again, it's physicality. Ricky Kambuaya going into a challenge with Kogliswaran. Like, I think it's one of those both players have got to go for that. It's a 50-50 challenge.
Well, we know that that game last night, Roshan, was kind of marred a bit, wasn't it? 2 fairly significant injuries in the first 10-15 minutes. Kind of took the sting out of things, didn't it? The game was very stop-start.
Yeah, it was, and that can disrupt the rhythm of matches, obviously, but hasn't seemed to be much of a disruption here.
Badru Bakhtiar with this free kick for Malaysia. Alfred Devanga got the final touch on that. Corner for Malaysia. Dion Cools come in from Midtjylland in the Danish league. I tell you what, he's played Champions League football, Russian, in terms of there are more and more players now, of course, applying their trade overseas. That has to be right up there, isn't he? The quality.
The incredible quality and experience as well. A big boost to Malaysia, especially in those defensive positions, and the expectation here with Sharul Saad and Aidil Zafwan picking up injuries in that game against Vietnam. It was always the case that Dion Cools will come in and be a big post in central defence.
Managed to get that clear. Now this is where they can be very dangerous. That pass a little too heavy. He's still going. Irfan, another very quick player. Witan Sulaiman, was he brought down there by Dion Cools? Shin Tae-yong is having a real go at the 4th official.
Yeah, you can see exactly what he's complaining about. He's saying there was a tug. There was a tug there from Dion Cools on Witan Sulaiman. The game is so open at the moment, and it's incredible. I mean, listen, I think there was some doubt about whether Indonesia would come out and really attack this Malaysian side. We're seeing that they are. You know, it's not a case of them just sitting back.
You know what? Shin Tae-yong addressed that, didn't he? As that force of Keunggulan Raj. Oh, he's got the shot in! What a goal that is! Keunggulan Raj has opened the scoring for Malaysia out of the blue.
That's a superb finish from Keunggulan. What a start for Malaysia here. A quick throw and an intelligent run in behind from Shafiq Ahmad that really starts it off. It's a poor clearance, you could say. And perhaps if you want to be hypercritical here, you can say it is slow to close down that shot from range, Rahmat Irianto. But that is pure quality. Wonderful camera angle on that replay. Keunggulan, take a bow. What a finish.
Well, he had a superb celebration for his first ever international goal just a few days ago, and look at that one. His second of this tournament. And it's got the Malaysian fans really celebrating in the stands. And there was a goal coming, you just felt it. The way this has opened up, and it could be another chance here. Ezra Walian. Well, they just seem to switch off a little bit there, Malaysia. Always a bit vulnerable, aren't you, after you score?
Yeah, wonderful response from Indonesia. Again, it's Wetan Sulaiman dropping into these areas. It's what I spoke about at the start of this match. They're going to have to keep an eye on him because he's got that freedom to just drop in behind Malaysia's midfield. It's in those areas.
This time he does grab hold of the ball and gets to distribute it quickly. Karol Fami, who was part of the 2010 side, the only player left that has won the AFF Cup. Look at Arif Ahmad. He's giving a bit of a torrid time, isn't he? Punch clear by Nadio. It's still alive. Here's Safawi. Haven't said his name yet in this match. And he's been one of the outstanding players.
Yeah, listen, Fakhruddin, as the most experienced defender in that back line, has got to have a word with his younger teammates here. You got a 19-year-old at left back. You got a 20-year-old in Alfeandra alongside him. He's got to be talking to them, making sure they're organized. And guys, yes, don't get carried away. We want to go and attack. We need to get the goal now. As we see with this table here, Malaysia having taken the lead, moving up to second in the standings in Group B. That means Malaysia are going through.
Yep.
As it stands. Indonesia are the ones who need to chase this. But we don't want to let the game, and I'm speaking from Fakhruddin's point of view, him saying we don't want to let the game run away from us. There's plenty of time still. Settle down, let's make sure.
Remember how calm they were and how disciplined they were, Roshan, against Vietnam.
Yeah.
Very, very different sort of game, of course. As they come forward here, Witten, just a bit of a heavy touch from him. Look at that. Ramai went in hard. It's a booking. Rizal Ghazali has rolled around a bit there. It did look a pretty late challenge.
Yeah, you'd think. It was well late into that one. That is a nasty one. And he's in a world of pain here, Rizal. And I'm wondering if he, because it's a standing leg, and you looked at the impact, and you looked at the angle in which Ruma came smashing into him. There's always a concern there with the knee ligaments. And Tan Cheng Ho in his standard outfit, his trademark white shirt, black pants, folded up sleeves.
Had a good chat with him.
Oh, have a look at this goal again. I mean, Keunggulan, his anticipation of where the ball could potentially drop for him to have a shot at goal, but still the technique to execute from range like that. And he doesn't drive through it, he kind of actually side foots it, wraps his foot around the ball, and gets enough of that curve to beat Nadeo, guiding it towards the far post.
Also, you saw Irfan's clearance there. He wasn't under any particular pressure, was he? when he passed that ball, when he tried to clear it.